ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So today we are trying to understand chapter 16. In the previous chapter, the chapter number 15, in the last class, we have understood about how this material world is an inverted reflection of the spiritual world. Just like the tree standing on the bank of a lake, if you look at the lake, you will see the reflection of the tree. But the tree is inverted, meaning what is highest in the spiritual world, considered to be great, is opposite lowest in the material world. The highest in the spiritual world is prema, the love of God. When that reflects to the material world, that prema, the love of God, is reflects as lust, kama in the material. The force which is there in the lust is nothing but the force of love. To control the lust, we need to convert lust into love. This is the secret. Because that force is created by the Lord. When that is converted into love for God, then the lust can be controlled. Then further it explains that how different branches of the tree, Vedas are branches and leaves, and how there are fruits. The fruits are karma in this material world, and how complicated the tree is. There are so many branches, so many leaves, so many twigs. So like that, we are jumping from one branch to another branch. We are stuck in the material world. But there is a real tree, that is spiritual world. So that is 15th chapter's message. Where the Purushottama, Supreme Lord, now how to cut that, how to cut the bondage of ourselves to this material world. What's it?
By detachment.
Yeah, by detachment. So that is explained in the 15th chapter. So this also chapter explains how the soul, Atma, transmigrates from one body to another body. Just like the air carries the aroma. If you remember, there is a shloka, Mamaivamsha Jivabhute Jivaloka Sanatanaha. All of us are God's parts and parcels. That part of God is what we all are. That cannot be killed, that cannot be, it will not die, it is permanent, it is eternal. But body is transmigrates. Body becomes old and body is changed. When body is changed, just like the air carries the aroma, like that, the soul carries the experience and perceptions of the previous life to the next life. So that's the example given. Suppose there's a nice fragrant flower, the air carries the aroma, isn't it? So that air which is passing through that flower is carrying the aroma of the flower. Like that, in this life you see, we define something is good and bad. Oh, this is very nice. This is not so good. This I like. This I don't like. Oh, this kind of people are good people. This kind of people are not good people. This kind of food I like. This kind of food I don't like. We develop a lot of perceptions and experience in this world. Due to various reasons, we come across happiness and unhappiness, distress in this world. Now, when we leave this body at the time of death, we get another body in a new birth. That birth is already filled with the perceptions and experiences of the previous life. That is why we are born in certain likes and dislikes. Some people by birth like sweet. Small child does not like spicy food. Some like spicy food. So how does it come from? Where does it come? We had one devotee, as a married Grihastha devotee. He had twins. And he told me, when the small kids are 5, 3, 4 years old, one kid is extremely charitable in nature. Anybody comes and he gives. Another person is extremely miserly. And he says, when the beggar comes, if we are not there, one child will go search all drawers and cupboards and my shirt pockets and everything, will go and put it in beggar's bowl. Another child will go and take from the beggar's bowl and put it back in. Now you see the father is same, mother is same, house is same, treatment is same. Why the two opposite nature people are born in the house? So Bhagavad Gita explains, just like the air carries the aroma from the previous life, our perceptions are carried to the next life. Then, appreciating Krishna's position as our maintainer in this world, Purushottama, one should appreciate, is the 15th chapter I will discuss it. Then, finally 16th verse to 17th verse, the summary of Vedas and Vedanta. Vedescha sarve ahameva vedyah vedanta kratte davidyeva chaham. 15th chapter, 15th verse. So, summary of all the Vedas is to understand God, understand Krishna. Otherwise, there is no point. What is the purpose? When you do something, you should know what is the purpose I am doing. Otherwise, it is waste of time and energy. Suppose I tell you, can you quickly go to Bangalore and come back? You say, yes, you quickly take a bus and go to Bangalore and come back. Then I ask, did you get that 1 lakh rupees? No, you didn't tell me. You told me to go to Bangalore and come back. I did that. You successfully completed the task of going and coming. But the purpose of going you are not asked. Then if there is any use going like that. Similarly, Vedic studies, studying the Bhagavad Gita, studying the scriptures, there is a purpose. What is the purpose? Vedanta Krit Vedavit Eva Chapaham. Aham Eva Vedyaha. Vedyaha means knowing. Krishna to be known after studying all the Vedic literatures. So that Krishna explained in this 15th chapter. Then finally, knowing Krishna means knowing everything. So, knowing Krishna, one engages in bhakti. That is all the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Purushottama Yoga chapter, which you all understood in the last session. It is very, very sacred. Whenever you have time, you should read these chapters. Chapter number 12, Bhakti Yoga. Chapter number 15, Purushottama Yoga. These all are the essence. There's a lot of details of about Krishna. You will understand a lot more about life. So that is why people read these chapters. Also, these two chapters are very small chapters. Chapter number 15 and 12. So now today we have come to another interesting chapter. The interesting chapter is divine and demoniac natures. So that is today's discussion. So all of you open 16th chapter in your book also. Okay, we all have, we are actually part of God, Amsha of God, Amsha of Krishna. Having come to this world, we acquire certain nature, certain qualities. We acquire certain qualities. So let us see good and bad qualities which are there, which Krishna explains in this chapter. So this chapter is again a simple chapter with only 24 verses. 1 to 3, 3 verses Krishna explains Daivi Sampada, divine qualities. 4 to 9, Asura Sampada, demoniac qualities. Then there is a detailed descriptions of the demoniac activities. That is verse number 10 to 20. Activities of the demoniac people and the consequences, their tendencies, conduct, attitude, engagements, thoughts and destination. What will happen to them? Then last 5 verses, giving up the demoniac tendencies, lust, greed and anger, which are the 3 gates to hell, and following the scriptures. So these are explained in this chapter. Very small, simple chapter, but very interesting chapter. So let us start with Krishna's words. Let us chant these verses. ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः ध्यानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेषु अलोलुप्त्वम् मार्दवं हृदचापलम् मार्दवं ह्रीरचापलम् तेजक्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Bhagavan Uvacha, the Lord said, these are the qualities. If you see the last line, these transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. We all want to acquire divine nature, isn't it? Divine nature gives us happiness. Divine nature makes us feel protected. Divine nature gives us good future. Not only in this life, even in next life. Divine nature is always protected by the Supreme Lord. So all of us want to acquire the divine nature. Just like when it is raining, the rain droplets which are coming from the sky, they are very pure, very nice and pure. So it touches the soil, it becomes muddy, isn't it? So like that, Atma, the soul, is pure in nature. But the Atma gets covered up by the material contaminations. That contamination starts with the desire, it's called lust. The contamination is what makes. Actually, soul is pure, Atma is pure, but it is covered with all contaminations. Now, today, what we are thinking, I want this, I want that, I like this. All these are actually contaminated desires. Desires only coming from Atma, but get got contaminated. Example, just like this tube light. White light is coming, milk white light is coming from the tube light. The light is, the source is the tube light. Now if I cover this, wrap this tube light with a red paper, what happens to the color of the light? It becomes red. Originally light is coming from tube light only, but it is acquiring the nature of the cover. Is it not? Like that, Atma, the desires are coming from Atma, but it is covered, contaminated with the material ideas and material desires in this world, which are not good for us. That is why we sometimes feel, I don't like to do what I am doing. Because that force is coming from the Atma only. When you remove all the contaminations inside the pure Atma, what is that Atma contains? That force is Prema, the love for God. Nate Swartha Gatim He Vishnu. It is said in the Shruti Shastras. Swartha Gatihi, actual self-interest of the soul is Vishnu. But unfortunately, we have been covered by the varieties of desires in this soul. The process of spiritual life is nothing but washing these unwanted contaminations which is binding the soul. This is the process. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and hear the Hare Krishna mantra, what's happening? We are actually removing the contamination which is there in the heart. That contamination only we are calling as 6 enemies: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. That's the same contamination. That will go when we practice spiritual life. This is very important. Manava Janma, in the human form of life, one has to work hard to remove the contaminations which is binding this soul. That's a major work. That is the main project of the human form of life. We all have got one project in life. That project is that purify ourselves, purifying our existence. So this, when the purified existence is more visible, then one can acquire the qualities of divine. It is not fully pure. As soon as divine means not necessarily Daivi Sampada means is not fully pure, we'll understand that. Fully pure is called a liberated soul, Mukta Atma, pure devotee, Shuddha Bhakta, beyond the Sattva. So that is the aspiration of all the Jivatmas. However, these qualities, Daivi Sampada, is good for us for practicing spiritual life. Let us see what our Supreme Personality of God said. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi means fearlessness. Abhayam means no bhaya, fearless. These are the qualities. Now we can introspect ourselves. How much percentage of divine qualities we have? Fearlessness. How does it come? The fearlessness can come only if I have strong faith that Krishna or God is there with me. I'm not alone. Like sometimes dead of the night, if you have to go alone in a forest, you feel scared. You have one more friend with you who is also equally scared. But both of you together you feel comfortable, isn't it? Someone is there. The fearlessness, the real fearlessness can be brought by making the confidence, by creating understanding within ourselves. God is there. Krishna said, Ruddheshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmain Sarva Bhutani Antrarudhani Mahina. He's seated in my heart. Lord is there. So, that is one quality, fearlessness. Fearlessness possible only when you develop attachment for God. Purification of one's existence. One should be impressed. Just now I told, purification of one's existence means removing the contaminations of ourselves. Cultivation of the spiritual knowledge. Cultivation of spiritual knowledge is jnana. Knowing more by reading transcendental literatures, the books which will help us to acquire knowledge. Then dana, charity. We should be very charitably disposed. Then damaha. Damaha means controlling the mind, self-control. Then performance of sacrifice, yajnaha. One should perform the sacrifices. Performing sacrifices is nothing but the process of doing our duty towards all that is given to us. We are being provided with air to breathe, light to watch, food to eat, so many facilities in this world. I feel obliged. I should give back. I should not be only taking. Then we should do sacrifice. Then study of the Vedas. One should study the Vedic Svadhyaya. No, sit and study. There's lot of time we have. Actually, we think we don't have time. In reality, we have a lot of you. All of us have time. In the mobile phones, there are options these days that you can, there are some apps which will tell you how many hours you have spent on the mobile phone. So month end you should take the report and see how many hours you have spent on the call, on the message, on the social media. Like actually we have time. Okay. So when you get time, what you should do? Swadhyaya. Sit and study the scriptures. Important information. It is just like you are arrested in jail and somebody came and handed over a book. They said, you read this book. This book says how to get out of the jail. Should you not read that book or not? Or you throw that book in the toilet and sleep? It's a precious book, isn't it? So Swadhyaya is like that. I'm studying the Vedas. Then austerities. Tapaha. Austerity means voluntarily taking some difficulties. Like today, it's a Sunday afternoon. Okay. Very hot summer. It's not very convenient to come to temple. In the hot sun you come. And it's not some AC room you are sitting. It's not very comfortable. It's called tapa, austerity. Voluntarily you are taking, knowingly you are taking. That I have got austerity. If somebody is putting you in difficulty, that is called torture. So we don't torture ourselves. We happily accept the austerities. Ekadashi, once in 15 days it comes. That day we don't eat grain. We can take fruits if you wish so. Fasting. You have opportunity to eat, but you don't eat. Voluntarily decide I will not take. This is called tapasya. First time when you are reading Bhagavad Gita, you have intention to read Bhagavad Gita, but as you read Bhagavad Gita, your mind goes here and there. Oh, let me first watch the video and then start. Oh, let me talk to my friend so many days over. After talking, then I read. Like this, mind will try to take you, sway away, delude you. Then you say no to mind. That requires, that's austerity actually. Austerity to the mind. No. I will not give you entertainment. Now you should study. Whether you like or don't like, you study. That's called tapasya. Like the various tapasya we should take. Chanting Hare Krishna is also a tapasya in this age. Simple tapasya. In this age, tapasya is made it very easy. You need not to go to, otherwise, these hots, in the hot, in North India, in the summer, temperature goes to 45, 46, 47. And there are yogis who actually light fire, big fire, and center they keep some space. They enter and sit there. We are not able to sit without fire only on the summer. Can you imagine switching up in the summers, going inside the fire and sitting? In the winter, it is too cold, 1 degree, 0 degree. That time they get into water and sit there. It's called austerity, tough austerities. Yogis do. For what purpose? For purification they used to take all this tapasya. They take this tapasyas. So now, these kind of tapasyas are not recommended for the Kali Yuga. Not necessary. But you can achieve what that person can achieve by doing that tapasya simply by comfortably sitting at your home by chanting the holy name of Krishna. That is why it is said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmasha Nashanam Nataha Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. If you study all the Vedas also, you don't find a better method than chanting the holy names of the Lord for the age of Kali. So, that is austerity. Then simplicity. The simplicity means, Srila Prabhupada explains, that being straightforward. That is also a godly quality. Then non-violence, ahimsa, truthfulness. Non-violence I explained earlier when we have sattva guna behavior, goodness we explained. Then truthfulness, being very truthful. Truthful means the truth which helps us to progress, satyam. Then freedom from anger, not to become angry. Anger is a suffering. When you become angry, who is suffering? You are only suffering. You think persons whom you are angry at, he is suffering by your anger. No, the reality is that you are suffering more than the other person. So one should be intelligent. Then renunciation, not to be attached to the things. Tranquility should be shanti always. Aversion to fault finding, not to find fault with others. Example given is just like honeybees and houseflies. This housefly, where does it go and sit? No. In the dirt only, isn't it? Wherever dirty place is there, it will go and sit there. Where does the honeybee go? Wherever the flowers are there, garden is there. Both are flies having wings. Both are almost look alike, but two different nature. The fault-finding person is compared to houseflies. Only sees dirty things. But person who does not find fault, only appreciates, sees the positive thing, is compared to honeybee. That is, a honeybee produces honey. What does housefly produce? Diseases. So we should be aware of this. Aversion to fault finding. Compassion. We should have compassion, daya. Freedom from covetousness. Where is that? Freedom from covetousness basically being not to be unnecessarily proud. Then gentleness, very gentle. Modesty and study, determination. Vigor, forgiveness. Tejaha, vigor means we should not be dull. Okay, spiritual means not one should be dull. Should have vigor, tejaha. Should be enthusiastic, should be interested in doing the things in life. You should be an active person. Then forgiveness. Should have compassionate and forgiveness. Then dhritihi, fortitude. We should have that, not to get scared. Cleanliness. Cleanliness has both inside and outside. What is outside cleanliness? By washing, cleaning, taking bath, wearing fresh clothes. What is inside cleanliness? By practicing, reading Bhagavad Gita, chanting Hare Krishna. Then freedom from envy and passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. So these are the good qualities which Krishna appreciating. These are the divine qualities. Now the next is, when you have time today, you should read this purport. You see so many pages Prabhupada has written. Each paragraph explains one quality. Then comes the Asuri Guna. Okay, let us read that. Please repeat after me. Fourth verse. Dambho darpo abhimanascha Krodaha parushamevacha Ajnanam cha abhichatasya Partha sampadamasurim. Arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, abhimana, harshness and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature. So these are not a good quality. Now what happens? Why it is not good quality? It is said in the next verse. Daivi sampat vimokshaya nibaddhaya surimata Nibandhaya surimata Mashuchaha sampadam daivim Abhichatosi pandava. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation. These divine qualities are good for liberation. We want liberation, we want to experience the real happiness, is it not? For that one should acquire the transcendental qualities. Whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. More and more and more and stuck in this world, bondage. Then Krishna shows, do not worry, my dear Arjuna, for you are born with divine qualities. So you don't worry, you are divine quality. Now you see, Arjuna being a fighter in a battlefield, that is also divine quality. So here what we understand is, the divine quality means the purpose of activity, why he is doing is important, then what is he doing. Demons also fight. Demons fight with the self-interest. They want to become powerful and they are not bothered about others' unhappiness, others' suffering, others' distress. They are leading a very self-centered life. That is a demonic quality. Divine quality people also fight, but they fight very selfless purpose. They becoming king or they acquiring the powerful positions for the purpose of doing good to people, not for themselves. And divine quality people abide by the laws of the God. They don't disobey. The example is when Hiranyakashipu, there are two great demons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyaksha was killed by Narayana, the Lord. Varaharupa, the Lord has killed him. More incarnation. And after that, Hiranyakashipu was very angry. I want to give justice to my brother. I want to kill that Vishnu who killed my brother. So he tries to find where is Vishnu. He is not able to see Vishnu. So then somebody suggested him, Shukracharya suggested him, that you go and do tapasya. By doing tapasya, you acquire power. By which you can see Vishnu, you can fight with Vishnu. Otherwise it is not possible. So he leaves palace and goes for tapasya. When Hiranyakashipu was away for tapasya, his wife, Hiranyakashipu's wife's name is Kayadu. So wife was pregnant. Now Devatas came to know Hiranyakashipu has gone for tapasya, and they went and attacked his kingdom and abducted the wife. They thought, now Hiranyakashipu is only this much big demon, and how big demon will be his son? So that son is growing in wife's womb. First let us kill him. And he was infant. This was the thought of Devatas. So Devatas were taking Kayadu to kill the child in the womb. When they were taking, Narada Rishi comes. Narada Rishi stops. Says that no. This son in the womb of Kayadu is a great devotee of Narayana, the Lord. You don't know. He is not demon. As soon as they heard this from Narada Rishi, immediately all the Devatas left Kayadu free and offered their respects, obeisances to Kayadu, and circumambulated and offered prayers and went. Then Narada takes Kayadu to his ashrama and gives transcendental spiritual knowledge. That's how in the womb only Bhakta Prahlada had heard about Lord. That's why from birth he was a devotee, because when he was in mother's womb only he heard from his Guru Narada. Now you see the quality of the Devatas. Though they were abducting and taking a woman, as soon as the higher authorities, the Rishi, Narada Rishi said don't take, they immediately obeyed that. Demonic qualities are not like that. Demonic people don't care. They'll ask what is the guarantee? Why should we listen to you? I don't care to anybody. I'm the God that all that I survey. These are the thinking of the demonic people. Divine quality people follow the authorities. So the saintly qualities lead you to the liberation, and demonic qualities lead to the bondage. So the next. Some more points. O son of Pruta, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. Bhaurbhuta sarga loke asmin daiva asura evacha daivo vistarashaha prokta asuram partameshnu. O son of Pruta, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and other is called demonic. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me the demonic. So there are some living beings are already acquired with the demonic quality in this world. Now divine I explained to you, the demonic I will explain in detail. So the two kinds of people in this world. Even today, not only it's not applicable only to Dwapara Yuga or Treta Yuga. Even in this age of Kali Yuga, there are two kinds of living beings. Some are divine living beings, some are demonic living beings. That is why not everybody shows interest in hearing about Krishna, hearing about God, coming to temple. There are so many people, millions of people. But how many really are interested to study the message of God? Very few. Some people are interested to study Bhagavad Gita for their personal purposes, not to progress spiritually. I told you once one director of MBA college, Business Administration College, he called me and said, Swamiji, can you please teach Bhagavad Gita to our students? Management principles of Bhagavad Gita. Then I said, all right, I can take few sessions. Then he said, Swamiji, one request. In your session, you should not bring Krishna. Take out Krishna from Bhagavad Gita and teach us Bhagavad Gita is his request. I said, I do not know such Bhagavad Gita. Where I have to take away Krishna and only teach you management principles from Bhagavad Gita. This is a demonic thinking. Even from God's message, let me take only beneficial to me, I don't want God. This is, you see, Ravana's principle. Ravan wants Rama's Sita, but not Rama. Rama's kingdom he wants, Rama's wealth he wants, Rama's property he wants, but Rama he does not. This is a demonic thinking. Divine thinking people, they want Rama also, Sita also. They worship them together. So, let us see this demonic people, what is their quality. And another thing in this age of Kali Yuga, all people have both qualities within them. We have some percentage of Asuri tendencies. We have some percentage of Daivi tendencies. Both are there within us. We have to kill Asura within our own self. That is the duty. That is the process. That is the project we have. So now as we read, you understand. So now, what are the qualities? We start. Please repeat 7th verse. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasuraha na shaucham na pichacharo na satyam teshu vidyate. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior, nor truth is found in them. These are known, they don't have. They do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. They just lead their life. They are not demonic life. Further. They say, who says? Demoniac people say. This world is unreal. It's a temporary world. That there is no foundation and that there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire as no cause other than lust. The goal of life is simply enjoy lust. There is no God. Nobody is controlled. This is very foolish thinking. You know, there was a very interesting example given by Prabhupada. Once, one scientist made a nice box, a cage, and he put some rats inside the box, which can be seen from outside. And he did not feed the rat for some time. The rats are very hungry. Then he made an arrangement. The cage has a lever down. If the rat goes and stands on that lever, the lever will go down, pedal. One cheese ball will fall inside. Piece of cheese. So rats were hungry, going around. One rat went by mistake and pressed the pedal. Piece of cheese fell. And he ate it was cheese. Then again he came out and rat again pressed. Again one more way fell. Now Eureka, I found out something, solution for all our problems. And he called all the rats. You know, I have done a new invention. My invention is that whenever you feel hungry, if you press this, the cheese falls. From there, he made a theory. You have to press with this much force, this much Newton, and it falls at this speed, this much time it takes. The size of the cheese is this, and he made a nice theory. And all the rats were very happy. They awarded him doctorate. So he became Dr. Rat. And everybody everybody celebrated. Somebody said we should give Nobel for him because he found something very exciting and he solved the problems. And whenever rats feel hungry, they press that, cheese comes. And it worked. Now you see, all the rats are appreciating and giving Dr. Rat the Nobel and whatever great awards. Who made the arrangement of the cheese falling? The scientists. Now the human beings in this earth is like these rats. They found out the plant requires nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. NPK. Who found that? Give him the special award and the doctorate. And if you put it little more near nitrogen, it can give more production of rice is possible. Who made this arrangement? You take a seed, put it in the soil, put it in water, it sprouts, it becomes plant, and tomorrow it gives fruits. We have found the functionality of this material world, but did we create this material world? We found there is a force, gravitational force. Did we create the gravitational force? Did Newton create the gravitational force? Before Newton also, apple was falling down, isn't it? It was not going up. So this, the demonic people cannot think. They say, God is unreal, no God is in control, there is no foundation, the only goal is simply enjoy. So, they use the philosophy of God itself to say that this is unreal and they don't follow. This is the demonic nature. The last verse in this section, Asara Sampada. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves, who have no intelligence, engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Ultimately, the work of the demonic people neither beneficial for them, nor it is beneficial for the world. The result of that is wars, drought, famine, earthquake. They create so many problems for good people also. This is because of the demonic people. So, this is the result of their activities. They lost themselves and no intelligence. So now, in the next section, Krishna further very interestingly explains the activities of the demonic people. Let us read. It's very interesting. Activity and mentality of the people. Okay, let us see what are the demonic mentalities. The demoniac, taking shelter of the insatiable lust, pride, false prestige, being thus illusion, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by impermanent things. They are not just impermanent things. There are two things called Shreya and Preya. Shreya and Preya. Shreya means which is good for future. Preya means immediate enjoyment. Srila Prabhupada gave the example of a child. Child does not want to go to school, wants to play. That is prayer. Parents know the future for the child, what is good. Say you must go to school. Now you may not be happy to go to school, but the future it is good for you. Going to school is a Shreya. Not going to school and playing is a Preya. So like that, all of us have Shreya and Preya. The Preya is that today is Sunday, let me sleep. Very nice. Shreya is that get up and go to temple and attend Bhagavad Gita class. It's good for the future. Early morning. Prayer is that let me sleep 10 more minutes. Mind is saying, little more I'll sleep. Little more I'll sleep. Shreya is that I will get up. I will get up, take bath and practice spiritual life. Not Shreya and prayer. So these people, the demonic people, are interested in prayer. They are attracted by impermanent things, small things. So that is the demonic tendency. And the purport Srila Prabhupada explains, and such demonic people are only attracted by wine, women, gambling and meat eating. Although gliding towards hell, they consider themselves very much advanced. What is the value for their advancement? When they, one day they have to leave, all they have acquired in their life. Then, are they happy with all that their desires are fulfilled? No. They believe that believe to gratify the senses unto the end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. Goal of life is to enjoy more and more and more senses. Therefore, sometimes these demonic people also take to spirituality. Yoga. If you do yoga, your body will be more flexible, healthier, so that you can enjoy, drink more wine. Enjoy more. And God will be thinking, I created yoga for something else. You are misusing the yoga. So, they believe that gratify the senses unto the end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. There is no end to their anxiety. Always anxious. The richest person will have the highest anxiety because he has to protect his wealth. We have no anxiety because we have nothing to protect. So, it is not that the anxiety reduces when a person becomes materially successful. Actually, anxiety increases. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. There are so many desires, unlimited desires, and they get into all illegal ways to find and acquire more money. Okay. Next is interesting thinking. Thinking in inverted comma, which Krishna is saying. The demonic person thinks. What does he think? So much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. A lot of schemes. I'll acquire more money. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him. My other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity. Thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. So this is what the demonic people are thinking. He thinks I am happy, but he is not happy. And he thinks that I am surrounded by great relatives. That is also not true. Can that relatives help him? Suppose I get stomach pain. My closest and best friend, what can he best do? Take me to hospital, isn't it? Okay, expert doctor, what can he do? He can only ask, where is it paining? Here is it paining? Where is it paining? And he can give painkiller. If it doesn't come down in painkiller, he will say, wait, tolerate for some time. He can't do anything. So, all that we think is a support for us in this world is not true. There is a story of man with 4 wives. A man had 4 wives. An allegorical story. We have to learn a lesson. The first wife he had, he was very neglectful at that wife. He would not feed her well, he would not take care of her, he would not talk to her. Completely neglected. She became very skinny and weak, diseased. The second wife he had, with whom he felt comfortable and he used to share good things and his emotions and difficulties. His wife used to comfort him. Don't worry, everything will be all right. Took care of us and took care of that wife relatively better than the first wife. And the third wife he had. The third wife is very close to his heart. But he would not take her anywhere, always at home. He always felt, if I take this wife outside, what if this wife goes away with somebody else? So he always protected the wife, locking it in his home. But he would go and boost himself with his friends. You know, I have a wife, very beautiful, but never bring her out. And as a fourth wife, this wife is very, very dear to him. Wherever he goes, he would take this wife. Take to market, shopping, whatever she wants, more than what she wants, he used to provide. Everywhere she used to accompany. So like this he was spending his life with 4 wives. Slowly he started growing old. One day doctor said, you do not have many days now. You may die. Then he thought, now I am dying. I should take at least 1 wife with me while going. So first option is the 4th wife, whom he always spent a lot of his hard-earned money and time and energy. He called the 4th wife and said, you know the doctor said I am leaving. So can you come with me? The wife said, what a fool you are. How can you think that I can come with you? No way, she went off. It was disastrous for him. Then anyway, he called the 3rd wife, whom he always protected. He was proud of having her. You see, your sister had said she will not come. I did a mistake, I never took you out. But however, can you please come with me? The wife laughed at and said to man, what a fool you are. Soon you die, I'm going to marry somebody else. It was shocking to him. Then he got the 2nd wife, with whom he used to always share his happiness and unhappiness. This wife, he said, now you at least come with me, no? Other 2 have really cheated me. The wife said, you see, I cannot come with you fully. When you die, probably I can come up to Smashana. After your body is gone, then I come. Then I have my own work to do. When he was talking and he was now started crying. Somewhere the first wife said, I will come with you. Whom he neglected all his life. Not fed, not took care. So these 4 wives of a man or woman, whoever you want to relate it to be, are. The 4th wife said, you are a fool, I can't come with you, is our body. who we take care of so carefully and nicely. Every day by standing in front of the mirror, we check, did my hair has gone grey? Did my hairs fall? Did my face look beautiful? From this angle am I beautiful? That angle, this cloth is looking beautiful for me. That cloth is looking beautiful. I took care of me with this fourth wife so well, but it cannot come. And the third wife, whom he locked and kept, is your wealth, money, which you always locked and kept. Soon you depart, somebody else is going to use the money, what you worked hard. That wife said, I'll marry somebody else. She will go away. The second wife, whom he shared happiness and unhappiness and distress and console he used to get, his friends and relatives. Maximum they can come is till the burial ground. They will have some crocodile tears and will go away. They also cannot help you. The first wife said, I will come with you, is Atma, the soul, whom you always neglected. I don't care whether you exist or don't exist. Never nurtured, never fed, never took care of. Is yourself, which is going to be with you. It's a story of four wives. So the demoniac persons take care of first three wives and neglect the first wife. Demoniac people take care of last three wives and neglect the first wife. So that's what we can see here. That I enjoy and enjoyed, I am perfect, I am powerful and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, thus I shall rejoice. So then, next verse. Thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by network of illusions, one becomes too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and falls down into the hell. What is the result of this? He will suffer more. He falls down to the hell. Too much attached to sense enjoyment. Then, self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes perform sacrifices in name only without following any rules and regulations. They also follow sometimes sacrifices, but don't follow any rules. Just for pride. Bewildered by false ego, means ahankara, strength, pride, lust and anger, the demon becomes envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in his own body and in the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real religion. And he becomes envious of God himself by becoming so powerful. The example is in Krishna Lila, Shishupala. Shishupala so powerful, he was always blaspheming the Lord only. So whenever the material wealth comes in our life, if we become proud, if we become arrogant, angry, that is a demonic quality. When the wealth comes, divine quality people can have wealth. When the wealth comes, I become more humble. I get filled with gratitude. I feel I wanted to use this wealth in good purpose. That kind of thinking is a divine quality. But when I get wealth, I think I am great, I don't care for anybody. So that is a demonic quality. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. So they will all suffer in the various asuri living beings. And then last verse in this section. Attaining the repeated birth among the species of demoniac life, such person can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. They'll keep on suffering. They'll be going on suffering. There is no end for them. So now the last section of this chapter, giving up the demonic tendencies. Please repeat this 21st verse. Trividham narakasyedham dvaram nashanam atmanah kamam krodhastatha lobhah tasmadetattrayam tyajet. There are 3 gates leading to this hell. The Naraka has a 3 gates, 3 doors. These 3 doors are called lust, anger and greed. Kama, Krodha and Lobha. If you open that gate, where will you go? If you the 3 gates you see in the slide. If you open that door, where is this door lead to? Hell. Full of suffering. That is 3 gates to hell. Hence it is said, there are 3 gates leading to this hell. Lust, anger and greed. Every sane man should give up those. Give these up. And they lead to the degradation of the soul. More and more suffering comes by having lust, anger and greed. So we should have a plan to give up the lust, anger and greed in our life. Otherwise it is not good for us. We will suffer more. We are not going to enjoy in our life. We are going to suffer more by having those qualities. Then the man who has escaped these 3 gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization, thus gradually attains the supreme destination. So those who escape these 3 gates of hell, and they will act which is good for the self-realization, conducive for the self-realization. Like what is conducive for self-realization? All the practices given by acharyas, guru. Getting up early in the morning, food which is in sattvic we should take. You should associate with the people who are like-minded, like you, who are interested in spiritual practices. Then you should practice a spiritual life. Spiritual life for the Kali Yuga is chanting the holy names of the Lord. You should study the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. You should render seva, use your intelligence, ability. There are 4 ways you can serve the Lord. Prana, Artha, Diya, Vacha. The 4 ways you can serve the Lord. Prana means entire life you use it for serving the Lord. Artha means use your wealth for serving the Lord. If that is not possible, Diya, use your intelligence for the service of the Lord. If that is also not possible, Vacha, use your talk, ability to talk in the service of the Lord. So like this, one has to practice the spiritual self-realization which is conducive for us to progress in the spiritual path. If you don't do that, we take shelter of lust, greed and anger. So our destination is very dangerous place and more suffering in the future. Okay. Now he says an important verse. Please repeat this. Yashastra vidhi ustrajya vartate kamakaratah Dasa siddhim avapnoti nasukam naparam gatim. Once again. Yashastra vidhi mustrijya Vartate kamakaratah Dasa siddhim avapnoti Nasukam naparam gatim. So what should one do? He who discards the spiritual injunctions and acts according to his own means, Shastra Vidhi, somebody will not follow the scriptures. It's very important, see Krishna is saying here. Some people say, I need not to read scriptures. I have realized myself. That cannot be accepted because one has to follow scriptures. One godman recently was telling, I'm realized, I know what is the truth. If what I am saying is not in line with the scriptures, you change the scriptures. This is not supported by Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is saying that you have to follow scriptural injunction. Yashastra vidhi. Anybody, Yashastra vidhi mustrijya. Somebody does not follow, does not act according to the Shastra and acts according to his own means. What happens to him? Neither perfection, nor happiness, nor supreme destination. Nasa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na paramgati. You will not get. So you have to follow scriptures. That is why this last section, that about following scriptures. One has to follow scriptures. Anybody gives any spiritual knowledge to you. Okay, you hear some message. Okay, this is spiritual knowledge. One question you should always ask. Where is it told in the scriptures? This much intelligence you should use. Anytime when you hear any spiritual knowledge, one question you should always ask. Where is it said in the scriptures? In which scripture? You want to know the reference. Scriptures means Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Upapuranas, Samhitas, epics, Vedanta Sutras, Brahma Sutras. So these are called scriptures. It should refer to these scriptures. That is why Vyasadeva gave scriptures in writing for Kali Yuga. Earlier it was not in writing. It was just Shruti, heard, Smriti, remembered, not in the books. So books have come for us so that we can refer and see. So Krishna is saying one has to follow the scriptures. So the last ones. One should understand what is duty and what is not duty by regulations of scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. What to do, what not to do, should go by scriptures, Shastra. So Shastra will give. Tasmat Shatram Pramanante. See Krishna is saying. Shastra Pramana. Should anything, Shastra Pramana should be there. That is why you read any book, say Madhvacharyas, Tatparya, any scripture you read, they will give reference. True Acharyas, true gurus of spirituality will give reference to the scriptures for what they are talking. They will not speak on air. They speak with the scriptural references. So because Krishna is saying, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Vivastitau. Karya Akarya. What to do, what not to do. We should know by Shastra Pramana. So this is the final conclusion of this chapter. So how to come out of this demoniac thinking? How it is started, if you remember the demoniac qualities. They don't know what to do, what not to do. You remember? It started like that today. It ends saying that you should know what to do, what not to do through Shastra. So by following the scriptures, we should kill the asuric tendencies in our heart. If you don't do that, you'll be bound to this world. If you do that, you'll get liberated from this suffering of this world. This is the conclusion of this chapter. Divine and demonic species. Okay, we have come to the end of today's chapter. And the next class, we are going to discuss about divisions of faith, the 17th chapter. Different faiths where people, divisions of faith is because Arjuna is going to ask a question. What about some people who don't follow Shastra? That's Arjuna's question. Okay. See there. One who does not follow the principles of scriptures but worships according to his own regulations. He thinks his own way, he does. He does not follow Shastra. What happens to him? So that's a faith, division of faith that Krishna is going to explain next. With this you come to the end of today's discussion. Anybody has any question? Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.